I wanted to thank everyone for joining us today, and we wanted to present what we've been working on at Lensing, Officina, and Meidea, which is a project that we call Act Together. And so for the presentation today, we're going to record the beginning part, and because we wanted to have a nice recording of our presentation. And then at the end, we'll open up to questions and want to have a little discussion around some of the challenges of circularity. So we'll kick off with Andrea is going to give a little background about Act Together, and then Lucia will discuss the groups and the design side of the Circle book. And then I'll highlight a little bit on Lensing's participation and Refibra, and we can answer more questions at the end. So I will pass it off to you, Andrea, to give an update on how we all came together for Act Together.
Thanks a lot, Trisha. Thanks everybody to join us today. It's a big pleasure for us. Let me just introduce myself. I'm Andrea Venier. I'm the CEO of Officina Plus 39. Officina Plus 39 is a company based in Italy. We are working in the chemical and dyestuffs. And in general, we like to call technology for the laundries, for the dye house, and for the fashion industry in general. So our mission is to develop processes, technology able to dye or to treat garments and fabrics in a better way. So in more sustainable way. The project that we are talking today, Act Together, really, this project has been developed during the peak of COVID-19. So really, the project started born a few months before the lockdown, but all the developments has been during the COVID-19 here in Italy as well in US and also in other countries, as we know. I think all of us, we are all aware about the change that are happening in fashion. And we believe that COVID-19 just accelerated that reflection. And really what we did during these weeks and months during the lockdown, we had a different discussion between me, Trisha, and Lucia, and we wanted to do something concrete for a project, a concrete project. And the Act Together became our first issue, that is the Cycle book. So Cycle book is the first output of the Act Together project. And the Cycle book is a book that would like to be an example of sustainable innovation, dedicated to the fashion designer as well the brands. And really, the idea is to be a new way of designing sustainable fashion. Really, what we realized when we developed this project, we found a new way to create a balance between digital technology and physical application. Because really what we did developing the digital book is to reduce the minimum the developing in physical form, and just we developed what was necessary for the book, for the digital book. And Lucia will explain you more about that, what she did using the developments did in our lab using our technology. Here, of course, at the base of the project and the Cycle books, there are two technologies very important. One is Refibra from Lensing, and Trisha will give you more information later. And the other one from our side is Recycrom, that are the dye stuff that we developed and we patented, that are coming from the recycling of textile waste. So Act Together at the end would like to be virtual experience that we did during these months. And really, mainly we are thinking this as a contagious, and as we are talking about virus, in that case, it's not dangerous, call to action. And so I think that it's great that during that hard time, we were able to, as a companies and supply chains that are working in the fashion industry, even during this forced isolation due to the coronavirus and this very hard time to the pandemic, we were able to produce innovation, collaboration, and initiatives. I think this is something very good for not only for us, but is the idea is to share, because I think our in general our industry is the best response and the best way to send a positive message to our industry tried hard by this time.
Thank you, Andrea, for introduction. I'm Lucia. Maybe some of you know me from previous webinar, or some are my friend. I am the head designer of Meidea team. Meidea studio is located in the northeast of Italy, so we are mainly develop projects related with brands, with mills or accessory and laundry. And especially we, since the 2004, when we raised the foundation of Meidea, we start to work with sustainability. As you know, it is not an easy issue for all of us, you know, that's how hard it is to push the company to follow the path of sustainability, because the first thing is, you know, thinking of the cost. But now there is no other choice, and especially after the lockdown, all the company realized that this is the only way to create product and innovate, and of course to survive, because you know the final consumer are more aware about what is happening more and more, especially the younger generation. So what we have done, as Andrea explained, we start this project before the lockdown, and we were thinking to create a kind of collection. Okay, based on, you know, the selecting of the fiber and material, starting from the field till the end, that's means from the garment. But during the lockdown, we had a first meeting with Andrea in January, and this was nice because we selected the color, we decide, you know, the way we want to develop the work. But finally, in Italy, you know, we were the first country to start the lockdown. Immediately we start to be, you know, connected only by, you know, our, let's say, social or our current, you know, Zoom or Facebook or any other tool we use, WhatsApp, to be connected with the team. And this is, at the end, this is a huge experience because we were much more connected for some reason, because we, especially with the team, after we decide with Trisha and Andrea, the guiding line for, you know, this project, with the team, Meidea and Officina 39, we were very connected. So we start with some idea about, you know, the laundry we want, the kind of color we want, and then step by step we start to develop. First of all, with the help of Trisha, we collected some of the best fabric, of course, not the best, but some of the fabric that are in the market, that are, you know, coming with an special innovation, special touch. So some company like Royo or like Santanderina or even Chalik or Candiani and other company provide us some fabric, and then we start to make a trial. When we check the first leg tube, we realize the potential of this leg tube. But normally it's just a trial, something that is a waste. But while we were working and we realized that all these materials are so beautiful things, and in a digital way, we decide to combine our sketches, our color card with a leg tube. That's our, you know, we also take a picture in high definition. So here you can see some of the group. We divided 4 groups. I want to add something. First of all, we don't want to give, let's say, kind of guiding light, because of course, all of you are professional and many of the brands have their own way to design the collection. This is just to inspire. So and also is not seasonal because it's not related with any season. Of course, seasonless is a big issue nowadays because we want to create products that have a very long life, not only for one season. And this is another very important issue to avoid waste. So the durability of the garment. That's why we divide this, you know, project in 4 groups. The first one that you see is called Tailor Comfort. as it's coming directly from our days during the lockdown. So we want to wear more in a formal, but in a more lazy way. So also the selecting of materials. So we have TENCEL and Refibra, they are especially soft. And also the weight we decide to take it. So here we have very light weight, like 7 ounces, 8 ounces, maximum is 11 ounces for this group. And you can see this is the mixed group. So we have some keywords. The second group that is tactility. Tactility is more related with the sporty look. Of course, this is not active sport, it's not a professional sport, but this, you know, the attitude that you can have during, you know, the daily life when you use, you know, your bike or when you travel. So this is more loose. In the meantime, is a sporty. And these, the color are more resistant. And we decide here to pick some of, you know, again, some fabric that are very smooth, like Royo, they create a kind of fabric that is a satin, and we apply a transparent resin to give this shiny appearance and more sporty look without to use any polyester inside. So all the fabric that we use are cotton or natural mix. So another way we decide to use some fabric compared to other. And also for here, with Officina, we use some detail for the bicycle or for when you are running to have a kind of refractive elements in the garment. The third group that we call Nominal Ensemble is more aggressive. Here we have a more heavy impact with the color. Also the volume is start to be more, you know, more loose and more balloon. And here we also decide to use some of the fabric that used in a previous group, but enlarged and highlighted with some of the tie-dye. So also the tie-dye, and also Andrea later can give a better explanation on it. We decide, of course, to use all aggressive elements that are less impacting on the environment. So at the end, we have a tie-dye. They are created combining laser plus manual tie-dye. And also we combine denim, front and back side, like the jacket you see, this is a nice Candiani fabric. And also, you know, combining denim and non-denim, like, you know, the yellow pants. So, and this is very aggressive. At the end, you can see more in detail later with the leg tube. And then the third group that we call Bold Keeper. Here, the volume is definitely exaggerated and we have much more brighter color here. At the end, in this group, we have elements like hemp or linen, because this is really connected with, you know, the mentality of the younger generation to use only natural fiber. So we combine Refibra or TENCEL with hemp and linen. And also, you can see the impact of the washing is less. And as I explained, you can go to the next. Okay, this is what we have done. And this is very interesting because when we start, the idea was, okay, we can do the garment. But at the end, when we see all this beautiful material, this leg tube, we decide that presenting to the brands or even to the mills or all, you know, the actor that we are talking during this day is very important at high value, even as a message, because we are spoiled. We do a lot of garment, a lot of trial, a lot of washing. After the lockdown, I think we learn more how to think before to act. Means that if I have to do a trial on, you know, dyeing before, it's better to do some trial and don't go directly to make a garment. Because in this way, we avoid to create a lot of waste again. And this is starting from the creativity, this is starting from the designer. So the message for the market is start to do less and think more if it's possible. We know that we are all in rush while we are creating collection, while we are developing new color or new indigo. But if we have more time, we have to concentrate to create less waste. And this is one way. This, of course, is our message, our own way. And as you can see, we put all the detail of each fabric and each treatment. At the end, you have a perfect photography on the collection without to have a collection because it's a virtual. Maybe you can see even in other, for example, the lady, we decide to use also some jersey combining with this shirting weight, and we dye the leg together. And what is beautiful is sometimes, as you know, we have different, absorption during the dyeing stuff. At the end, this tone sur tone is very elegant and gives a plus to the garment. So what is a wrong thing, we use as a good element in the garment. And maybe you can see more. Okay, here also we combine denim and ready for dye, fabric together, and then we discharge it and over dye again. This is also, the same fabric, as I repeat for you, the same fabric treated with nice color, with nice finishing, are totally different results, as you know better than me. And especially in the group, the next group, the texturity here is perfect because we use some fabric that are raw, but at the end are very soft. So, and also the croaking is good. That is also another problem because we have kind of fixation agent. In this way, we can keep very dark color and very bright aspect and shiny and smooth surface without to apply aggressive chemical. And so also for your body is important. So we try to combine all the elements. So searching since the beginning till the end, something that is also not harmful for your body, because at the end, all these chemicals are, let's say, going on your body directly, touch your body directly. And okay, so this is another group, the Nomad Ensemble. This, as I told you, this is very, it's very up to date because we have so this tie-dye effect, but we have done using laser combining with over dye, and this is also a beautiful aspect. And also the leg too, that you see the yellow one, this discharge in a regular way. That's normally you have to use IPO, and this is totally different case. Maybe Andrea can explain you better, but at the end is working very well in any kind of indigo. Of course, we selected some indigo that are working better than other, but at the end the result is huge. And also for the girl, and also we over dye some of indigo garments for the top and use laser. So some agents are very interesting because you can create an acceleration during the laser, and also that's, you can spray or apply some, chemical that while you are lasering the garment are realize much more evident design on the garment. Yeah, this is also beautiful. This is the guy I told you. There is a front and back. We use the fabric in reverse side. And also the pants is beautiful because we use a kind of earth dyeing, and the effect is a kind of updated camouflage. And the fabric is amazing. It's very soft. It's a kind of 100% TENCEL, Trisha, right? So, and last group, okay, ball keeper. We have two outfits here, and we use some fabric combining. Here we have also amp, and it's very drapey and soft, beautiful, but also the combination, this same fabric, this satin, we use for all the group, but with totally different aspect after the washing and finishing. And the last girl here, okay, also a combination of denim and non-denim together and over dye with the color. So the general idea, so these are, all the sketches that we combine. Then you have the fiber technology. What I can add on this, first of all, a big experience, because, share experience, but also share a work that is virtual is not easy. So we try to create something that contain the manual touch, because at the end we design the sketches by hand, but in the meantime a digital tool, because we apply also photography and all the elements that make a product like this useful for, for the final, for the designer, for the young generation, for the student, but also for the mill. So I give the word to Trisha and Andrea again.
Great, thank you, Lucia. So just to tell you a little bit then about lensing and what we're working on here. So for lensing, we manufacture only fiber. And so we make our TENCEL lyocell. We also introduced our next generation of TENCEL, which we call Refibra. Refibra was launched in 2017. And with Refibra, what we're doing is we're upcycling cotton waste in order to make a new fiber. And what you can see from this diagram is that we take the cotton waste. Right now we're using 30% waste mix of post-industrial and post-consumer in order to make the pulp. We blend the pulp with our wood pulp, and then we add a solvent. The solvent is reused in a closed loop production cycle. We also add a fiber identification into the solvent, so we have complete transparency, and we're able to verify then that it is Refibra technology that is being used. This fiber then has the same strength and softness as original TENCEL lyocell, and what we're doing is we're adding in the circularity. So with Refibra, right now we are at the 30% blend level of using the upcycled cotton waste. And our goal is to go to 50% post-consumer by 2024. So right now, I think the industry is looking at a lot of ways of reducing waste. There's 50 million tons of textile and apparel waste discarded annually. Every year, there's 105 million tons of fiber that is produced. So when we look at the new fiber we're producing, and that's across all fibers, that's cotton, synthetics, as well as man-made cellulosics, you know, we are throwing away half of what we produce every year. Interesting, yesterday someone was stating that in the United States alone, over the past 10 years, we've increased the amount of waste from 10 million tons of waste per year to 17 million tons of waste discarded per year of textile waste. So this is where, as an industry, we know we need to have more textile to textile recycling. At Lensing, Refibra is a strong commercial way. And as Lucia mentioned, we worked with several of our mill partners. So Royo, Santanderina, Candiani, Tatfeng, and Prosperity fabrics are utilized in this collection. We have many other mill partners in denim as well as in wovens and knits who are using Refibra within their collections. So you're able to bring a circular concept throughout any of the fabrics that you're looking to use. Additionally, I always want to highlight around TENCEL. So TENCEL lyocell was introduced in 1992. The first commercial production of TENCEL lyocell was in Mobile, Alabama in the United States. And with TENCEL lyocell, there's a closed loop where we do reuse the solvent. So there's circularity also in association with TENCEL in the production process, and also with TENCEL lyocell or any of our man-made cellulosic fibers, there's circularity because they're biodegradable and compostable. So we do have certifications about biodegradability, not only in soil, but also in water. So that is important as we look at some of the challenges around marine pollution. That's our update on the fiber side, and I'll pass it out over to Andrea to talk about Officina and Resichrome.
Thank you very much, Trisha. So really, as Trisha and Lucia explained, we were trying to use a new approach, what we should be the future approach to develop a collection in our industry. What I think we realized that we did completely in different way, and the lockdown helped to work in this new way, has been the fusion between the digitally and physically. As Lucia explained, really, I think what is great, and we realized that, and the idea Act Together is to share that experience, because our main scope is to share this experience, that we realize really that we can reduce a lot the developments material. Usually, you know, as a Officina Plus 39, we are working very close with the manufacturing mills, so with the laundries, with the dye house, and really what we realize that every time to produce the final collection, we are doing thousands and thousands of panel legs and garments before coming to the final collection. Here, I think that due to this limited condition in the COVID, we find the way to reduce in a very dramatically way the numbers of material used for the development of the collection. And apart that, I think what the other aim of this project has been for sure to change the approach that we are still using in general in the fashion industry. You know, still currently, we are deeply rooted in a linear approach, means make, use, and dispose. Really, at the base of the project has been a different approach that should be the future of our industry. Means try to use sustainable, resilient, and circular materials. And really is what we did with fiber using Refibra, and also with the chemicals. We are trying to use chemical and dyes with less impact possible. Is our part in the project. The first technology that we use, as I explained to you before, is the Resechrome. Resechrome is, we are considering really a revolutionary concept, a revolutionary product innovation for our industry, because here what we developed, we patented some years ago, also as Refibra in 2017. We were able to find a way to upcycling the textile waste, cellulosic fibers in general, into a very small powder, the powder that you can see in the picture. And then we are using that powder as a dye stuff, as a pigment. So we can replace the synthetic dye stuff using a recycled material coming from textile waste. So this has been used in a predominantly way in the collection that Lucia designed. And apart that, also we used some important chemical as a remover in J, that is our potassium permanganate alternative. So here, and the smart bleach to replace the hypochlorite. These are products that are ZDHC approved, so are for sure better chemical than potassium permanganate as well chlorine. So really, all the bleaching that you know is a big impact in our industry, because usually in the past we were using a very harmful substances to make the bleaching, so to decolorizing the fabrics. Here we use a better chemistry with low impact. That's very important. Then we used another dye stuff technology for the darker color, for the that you saw in the collection, this Nibu dye. This is a different concept, a different approach to be sustainable in our industry. That is of course, Resechrome is what we can offer, the best product we can offer in terms of sustainability in this moment, because we are cycling textile waste. Nebu dye is a different approach. Here is more linked to SDG 6, so the water conservation, and the idea is to use much less water possible to dye. Here we developed this series of colors that are using the spray system, the nebulization machinery, like Core from Tonello or eFlow from Genealogia. So practically we are replacing the water with the air to apply the chemical, to apply the dust. So it means that we can have like 85% of reduction in terms of water. Means less water we are using, less water we are contaminated in our industry. So, and the last product that we are launching this month, and the coming weeks we'll start to send the first samples to our partners, to our customers, is Odds One powder. This is a new technology. Also, some garments has been bleached using Odds One powder. This technology has been developed during the lockdown, and started a little bit before, and we finalizing after the lockdown here in Italy, this new technology. And this technology has been developed thinking for those laundries, those washing company that don't have the odds-on machine, but they want to offer to the brands similar concept. Means the good things of the odds-on is that you cannot do bleaching with better chemistry. Here we are using better chemistry than permanganate, than chlorine, and mostly you can do waterless. So here we are able to produce a new technology, waterless, and replacing the harmful bleaching agent, like, and we can obtain effect like ozone. So this is a technology that I think will be very important in the coming months, because the crisis will cut a lot of investments for the mills in terms of new machinery, new technology. So the idea that we can offer a technology that is better in terms of impact, waterless, and can be used in the conventional machinery, I think is a good option that we are giving to overpass this tough situation and the crisis. So at the end, this is the technology that we used, and really what we realized at the end that using imagination, there is Meidea, good fiber, Refibra, and good chemical and textile technology. Really, we can in our world we can give a really a good message, a positive message that we can do fashion in different way. I don't know, Trisha or Lucia, if you want to add something.
Yes, I want to just show how many, let's say, fabric we use to create the collection. So at the end, this is very impressive because all the collection is created with leg 2, and this is the maximum. Okay.
Yes.
No, maybe I'll show you later about what is important. And then, of course, we realized during working online, this is something that forced us to stay in the office or at home, and we had to find other solutions and also solution that impact less. And this was, you know, something that, of course, this is our own way, but for us to represent something that is important. And also, of course, another important point for my point of view, for our point of view, is the traceability of creativity. Because as you all are creative person, what is important? We have to know since the beginning what we are doing. So if we select some fiber or the accessory or the laundry we are using, the garment, the chemical, till the end is also, I think, our responsibility now. And that's why we created this, you know, kind of slogan, act together is important, because if you have good partner, when you develop something, you are able to trace everything from the beginning till the end. And this is a big power at the end.
Thank you. Great.